Reinforcements have arrived and the dwarves are preparing for battle. Hey, how's it going, guys? My name is Jackie Fish and welcome back once again to another Total War Rise of Mordor online battle. We are diving in with a updated version of Rise of Mordor that has just been released over on ModDB, so definitely go and check that bad boy out. In this update, we have a brand new faction in the way of Imladris. They have a whole roster of, no, these aren't Imladris, that's Mordor. We have an entire new faction of Imladris. There we go over here, of a beautiful faction of elves, and they have a ton of new units as well. You can see their awesome looking armor, their swords, their weaponry just glinting in the sun, absolutely awesome. And then we have some more units for the dwarfs as well. They got new icons up here, which is great, and they also have some of these forces. I was just looking at the dwarfs of the Iron Hills as well, so some new assets added in for the dwarfs. Hopefully we'll start to see a few more units kind of filling out the dwarven roster, because it's one of the rosters that definitely need a lot of love and haven't had any attention for a little while. So I'm definitely looking forward to seeing more dwarven units, as they are definitely one of my favorite factions. So yeah, we have that. We have the elves, we have the new dwarven factions, we have a brand new unit for Mordor as well, which is really awesome. It's these guys right here, the guards of the teeth. I'm actually going to pause it on them so you can truly just enjoy their full armor. And yeah, they're basically like I guess the mouth of Sauron's like private bodyguard, elite heavy halberds, some pretty gnarly weapons as well. So a super scary unit, and this unit is completely new. And look at that hand as well. Oh, god damn it. Beautiful stuff indeed. So as well as that, they've also added in music into the game. I'm not going to be playing the music per se, because I've got the it's copywritten. It's a lot of it is movie music, I believe, but I will be putting on the Rise of Mordor soundtrack, which is not movie made and is made by an amazing artist called Philip. And yeah, I'll link his playlist and his channel in the description as well, so if you want to hear that. But yeah, there is also now brand new music in there for the movie, so when you're playing these battles you can feel a lot more immersed. And there's also 2 new maps and a bunch of UI improvements as well. So honestly, a really good update in all its glory. Very happy with it, and it's seeming like, you know, the team is really starting to just kind of get into their full groove. And yeah, the most recent updates, the past like 2 or 3 updates, have been absolutely awesome. So I can't wait to see the future of Rise of Mordor. There's no real major updates on the campaign map. It's still just kind of moving along, and along with the trolls as well. They're currently doing troll skeletons. I know everyone always constantly says that the trolls are coming, but trolls are definitely on the way. And if you guys want to see them work on this, sorry, a little bit of a long intro, but if you guys want to see them work on some of the on the campaign map or on the trolls, make sure you go ahead and subscribe to their YouTube channel. They've been streaming the trolls and the campaign map development over on their Rise of Mordor official YouTube channel. It's been really awesome. There's been a bunch of people in there, and if you guys want to go show some love, make sure you subscribe so you can catch when they do these live streams. And go show them some love in the live streams. I'm sure if the live streams blew up and loads of people are watching, they'll do more of them. And if they do more of them, that means they're working on the campaign map a lot more, meaning that the campaign map might come a little bit sooner. You know, every minute counts for sure. But yeah, cool. Anyway, let's just dive into this battle. So we have kind of a very awesome looking battlefield. There are also now 2 new maps. I believe this is probably one of them. Looks really awesome. A very cool open field battle, very colorful. I love just kind of the terrain in the center. It's a really simple but effective map, and it looks really good for sure. And the elves are going to have to push up. So, for Imladris, we do have some of these Nordren Rangers. These guys are going to be able to just obviously harass the enemy with their superior bowman ship. Then we also have some cavalry back here as well. Obviously looking very elite in the elven armor. The commander also looking pretty goddamn amazing. On the front line, we do just have an entire line of these Nordren swordsmen. So again, a very aggressive infantry. I don't know if this faction has any sword and shields yet, which they desperately do need. They really do, but I didn't think they do have access to them. It's just a lot of these Nordren 2-handed shock infantry, which is absolutely fine. But as we go further back, we do also have some Nordren archers, again, just looking beautiful as elves generally do. And then finally, we do have the guards of Imladris. These guys actually have spears, but they haven't got them out right now. They're basically pike infantry. For sure. Then for the dwarves, obviously just a standard setup. We just have dwarven axe infantry supported by crossbowmen, who now also do have their kind of custom icon. It kind of looks like a rifle, but I can kind of see the crossbow kind of cross right there. Looks cool nonetheless. Got some escort merchant cavalry over on the far left hand side as well. So some cavalry from Dale resupplying them and just kind of giving them a little bit of cavalry support, not that they really get much. Then for the forces of Mordor, the 2 attacking forces, we do have Orc warriors on the far right flank supported by Orc rabble. It's kind of a very numerous force over on this left hand side. We're going to look to try and overrun the enemy This is not really going to do any damage, but it can definitely get around the flank and tie up units. They also have some of the vassal Southron cavalry as well, so cavalry from Harad right there. Then in the center, they do have a decent line of these guards of Vativ, who are going to be hammered by crossbow bolts. I can almost assure you they've got 4 units of them. We also do have some Uruk archers back here, supported by some Morgul legions. So a very kind of like halberd heavy force by the forces of evil. So we'll have to see if that does come up to play. But over on the other side, again, we have some more contingent of Uruk Throng, just heavy Uruk infantry, supported by more pikes. So yeah, a lot of like pikes, a lot of halberds for the Orcs. I guess using them numbers to their advantage, and then a ton of Orc rabble bowmen just to put down a lot of evasive fire. The other side of the Orcs, they have a lot of Uruk Throng just all the way down that front line, with some Orc warriors as well right there, supported by some Uruk spears, some cavalry over on the far left-hand side. Servants of the Eye is always great to see. So let's go ahead and click play, get this battle fully underway and watch the two forces clash. I absolutely love this map as well. I think it looks absolutely amazing. Really, really impressive stuff by the team. Can't wait to see them add more stuff. There you go. Some more of the Imladris soldiers moving forward. And I'm not sure if Imladris was already, because it was Lindor Woodland Realm, and I think Imladris was a faction previously, but this time they've kind of got a complete retexture, I think, or added in. I'm not sure. I feel like I've played with Imladris before, but maybe I am just mistaken and I'm making that up. Either way, definitely go over to the mod DP page. You can check out all the new additions over there. But either way, a really, 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 really awesome setup right here. And I love whether it's a retexture or just a new unit. I love the forces of Imladris. They look absolutely amazing. And over on the far left-hand side, we are going to be getting the first engagement as the dwarves go flying in to the Orc line. And this should be a pretty nice time for them, honestly. They've got their Grimhammers, some of the best shock infantry in the game, charging in against some pretty lowly Orc. You know, Orc rabble and Orc warriors are nothing to write home about. Even like default infantry could take these guys down. So having the dwarfs just throw everything they've got in against them is going to be pretty nice. However, it does enable them to actually go ahead and engage more of the Dale cavalry and actually support it with more infantry. Honestly, if this Dale cavalry wanted to, they could just smash into this infantry and just literally obliterate it. But they have to be very careful because Servants of the Eye horses are going to do some serious work. The Escort Merchant cavalry should win this battle overall, but the Southron cavalry should be able to get a little bit stuck in here. The lower Haradrim horses are pretty decent indeed. The rest of the battle line has not committed quite yet, so the main engagement is just going to be over on this left-hand side. And yeah, you can already see the Grimhammers racking up 43 kills on this one on the general unit, 47 on this one, and 47 on this one. However, more of the dwarfs are turning up, and we're going to start to see this Iron Guard in combat. They look absolutely amazing. It's a bit dark, obviously, because Attila being Attila, but still looks really awesome. And I can't wait to go ahead and see more action from these dwarven factions. Hopefully they really do get some more assets and stuff, because, yeah, the dwarves are absolutely amazing. And this new armor set is awesome, so can't wait to see that. What do the spears look like, actually? Do they have custom? Yeah, they obviously have custom spears. Yeah, I think that's the default one that the other units have, but maybe it is a new spear as well. So as you can see, the dwarves are going to clean up this kind of right flank fairly easily. I can't imagine they're going to struggle with that whatsoever. You can already see the morale starting to drop down for like the weaker Orc rabble. I'm surprised that the Southron Lancers are breaking so quickly on this flank, so it's going to free up a lot of cavalry. Obviously, they're going to be slaughtering the enemy units on this side. The Escort Merchants are going to get destroyed by the Servants of the Eye. I wouldn't be surprised if we didn't see the Servants of the Eye lose a single horse in this engagement because, yeah, they're just really top-tier elite cavalry. I think you can only bring 3 of them. But it's worth every single penny because they are absolutely amazing. More of the front line is being pushed up, and now we are now starting to see a nice little line here. There you go. These are the pikemen for the elves, the Imladris. And look at that pike as well. It's bloody beautiful. The extra length on it is, yeah, is very, very deadly. With the elven archers overhead as well, volleying in as well, pushing back the enemy lines, and just kind of setting up in these choke points, trying their best to just really put a pressure on the enemy. Over on the far right-hand side, we do have a massive engagement right now as the cavalry do get fully engaged here against Servants of the Eye. They are going to be supported, though, by more infantry, and I mean, look at that as well. That's a pretty beautiful sight to behold. The fire in the distance, the soldiers moving up. I mean, that is what it is. That's what Total War is all about right there. How many men do we actually have on this field as well? Yeah, look at that. We have 12,000 orcs charging forward up against 5,000 dwarves and elves. Obviously, the dwarves and elves being elite factions to the utmost. They are the most elite factions, whereas like Gondor and Rohan are very much in between that. yeah, these are definitely higher up on the spectrum, and yeah, the orcs are going to have to really, just throw numbers against the enemy and try their best. If we just go down the battle line as well, we can truly see more and more soldiers clash in against one another. We got more of the orc pikes as well. Or at least orc spears going up against the shock infantry, which should be a very good matchup for the elven shock infantry. However, we are seeing some of the axes moving in, and honestly, this is one of the better axe shock infantry units in the game. The half-orc axes, they're super cheap and they do a crazy amount of damage, so definitely never underestimate them. They can be thrown in against most stuff and come out pretty nicely. The other lines, though, are being a little bit more hesitant than clashing, kind of just sitting back and keeping these pikes in place, but that is allowing the elven archers to volley in arrow after arrow and, yeah, do some decent damage as well. Every single volley that these elven archers get off is going to be racking up a lot of kills. The dwarven battle line has now fully engaged as well on this left-hand side with a really nice cavalry charge here as well, somehow making it around the back of this unit of axe warriors. However, it is receiving a lot of crossbow fire, so maybe going after the crossbows would have been a better idea, but I imagine they probably just ping-ponged between the crossbows, kind of hit this and then hit that. I imagine that's probably what they did. But yeah, definitely losing a lot of these servants of the eye in the engagement. And they probably didn't need to do that. Obviously, the pikes and the Yorick Throng moving up to really kind of put pressure on the dwarven line. But trying to break the dwarfs is going to be, yeah, no easy feat whatsoever, because obviously dwarfs be doing dwarfs things, and they hold that line very effectively indeed. But the pikes going up here, they're going to be able to do damage at range and, yeah, do some serious work on that front line. And might be able to end up cracking the dwarven line, but I imagine they're going to have to actually be really careful on this far flank, because, yeah, the Grimhammers have just had the time of their lives. Even, yeah, these ones are up to 281 kills, with the cavalry as well just racking up a bunch of kills as well. They basically completely surrounded this unit of Servants of the Eye, but the Servants of the Eye are holding on, not giving up. They also got some Orc Warriors here who are shaken. They're not really going to be able to hold off against cavalry charges. But basically just padding and kind of taking damage for the Servants of the Eye as they continue to cut down a lot more of this merchant cavalry. Obviously, once some of these units around the back are done, they're going to just reinforce here and hit these guys in the back. We've also got this unit of escort merchants as well. Just probably looking around to just try and clear up some of these weaker units who are going to get ripped through. Yeah, this is going to be a deadly cavalry charge for sure. Yeah, they just tear them apart. Like, they basically just don't exist. Really, really dangerous stuff, and that's going to really help clear up the flanks, and they can move this cavalry all the way around. I mean, obviously there's a lot of juicy targets back here. All these archers are going to be pretty valuable. However, they're just orc bow rabble, and they're basically just useless, like these guys put down a lot of evasive fire, which is nice, but they just don't really do much damage. They apply the debuff of receiving missile fire, which I think does add up over time as well. I'm not sure if I can see it because I have to like be on the unit to see it, and it's kind of awkward to do. Basically, you get a small debuff to your stats for being shot at. I think it's a little bit of reduction in melee defense, a little bit of reduction in melee attack, and also morale as well as speed, because you're having to kind of keep your shield above your head. So, just having these orc rabbles to apply them debuffs is pretty nice. You definitely can't complain. Does seem like we do also have 2 units of these Yorick Throng around the side as well, and diving in onto the Noldrim Ranger Archer unit as well, and that's pretty deadly. The Yorick Throng can definitely hang with some of these stronger units on the Elven roster and the Forces of Good, so getting these guys stuck in and getting them to do some damage early is really nice indeed. So they're going to be kind of pushing in and just trying to, maybe trying to get a lucky kill on the Elven General, which would not be bad. Also, a massive fire arrows. I'm interested to see how much damage this does. Because I could actually rack up some decent kills. A lot of blood, being shot everywhere, but not a single kill, I don't think, on these guys. Maybe the next volley or 2 will do some more damage, because that was a lot of blood for no damage whatsoever. But either way, I mean, just getting these shots down is still going to be pretty good. And yeah, you can see the missile reduction? No, we're on Guards of the Teeth. It's like, so almost there. I just can't, because wait, artillery is, which should be fine. How are we doing on the far right flank? Yeah, the Elven pikes are just slaughtering. They're outmatching basically anything they're coming up against. The Orc pikes are no match for the Elven pikes. They're able to really repel them and do some serious damage. You can already see the kills as well being racked up here. The Guards of the Teeth, yeah, looking like they're just being a little bit outmatched. The pikes do seem a little bit longer for the elves, so it's going to be helping them out pretty heavily. On the far right flank as well, we are getting the Yorick Throng going in against the Noldrim swordsman. And these guys, as you can see, are just, cutting them down very effectively. More reinforcements being sent over to this flank, and this flank is definitely going to be an important part of the battlefield. If the orcs can win on this side, they can really outflank this very deadly pike wall that the elves have set up. And yeah, you can see more of the archers moving in there, just trying to engage the enemy before they can outmaneuver them. Obviously, the orcs having that advantage. Definitely some gaps they could definitely try their best to improve through and break through. But yeah, really nice work here by the forces of Mordor, simply overrunning this right flank. There are still more cavalry that can be sent round, and the cavalry do seem like they're doing a pretty decent job. But there you go, the unit of swordsmen, Nordran swordsmen being thrown back, 156 kills on them, but unable to really win this one on that flank. And it's going to allow more spearmen and shock infantry to come around, just help out in these cavalry engagements, try and turn the tide. But the front line, the elves have absolutely demolished the forces of Mordor on this right flank. I think they're doing a bit better on the other flank as well, with their cavalry being decisively defeated, but still able to get them stuck in. The dwarves are able to, hold this front line. And honestly, the dwarves have done very good, barely losing any men on a few of these guys. I think they are definitely struggling. Yeah, the Arable Axe Warriors here are down pretty heavily, and 35 kills on the Morgul Legion. So the Morgul Legion seem like they're doing a great job. It just seems like these Servants of Atifa are maybe struggling a little bit. But then again, they're kind of very much more in a prolonged engagement. Look at them halberds as well. They are meaty blades on them. Very scary indeed. Their main job is obviously just to kind of hold this position and just kind of slowly grind away. We're not really taking many casualties, and they're definitely winning these combats. That is for sure. And look at this on the far right flank as well. The escort merchant cavalry is literally no match whatsoever for the Servants of the Eye, able to throw back more soldiers whilst they're fighting the Dwarven General and also the new Iron Guard as well. Just the Servants of the Eye is such a strong cavalry. However, Dale did go ahead and commit 3 units of their 4 cavalry over to the archers to try and wrap up some of these kills. So that's kind of why they ended up winning on that flank, is because instead of focusing and bogging down that one unit, they decided that it'd be best just to run down and start engaging a lot more of this other cavalry, which I think is definitely the smarter idea. Bringing this cavalry down and just kind of whittling down the numbers is going to really affect the overall Mordor morale. So not a bad idea whatsoever. We take a look at the overall battlefield. You can see the field is still heavily engaged. However, the more forces of Mordor breaking around this flank is going to be pretty deadly. And if they can just get more soldiers in and harassing them, that's going to be pretty good. It seems like another unit of Nordran swordsmen are going to be broken. And the cavalry, for the most part on this flank, is fairly taken down. Yeah, this unit's going to be breaking because they do have a unit of Morgul Legion engaged on that. However, there is also a unit of Nordran horses back here, which is quite easy moving on this flank and just completely break these guys. Again, a deadly cavalry charge from the forces of the elves are going to just devastate most backline infantrymen. One of the things I'm really looking forward to personally is when they start getting more of the men of Rohan in. I can't wait for the devastating Rohan charges as we go in like that, and just, boom, they turn around last minute, but that is a devastating charge right there as they continue just to move in. I mean, we just pause it right there and take a look at some of their units. Oh, it is bloody beautiful as we watch more and more of the fighting commence against the enemy. And I mean, just what's not to love? The elves look amazing, especially as they charge in unit after unit. And sorry, I'm just quickly taking a beautiful screenshot, and we can go back onto normal speed. Gotta just enjoy the elves because they do look amazing. They really, really do. And yeah, as I said as well at the beginning of the video, the campaign map is looking pretty good. If you want to kind of keep it updated with that, as I said, they've got streams up on their channel from their attempts at developing the campaign map and stuff. So if you want to see people working on it, definitely go over to their YouTube channel. And obviously as well, make sure you do join the Discord as well, because they do announce when they're doing them live streams over on the Discord as well. And I'll leave links to both in the description so you guys can check that out. But yeah, I highly recommend it. Go over, show them some love, give them great motivation. They're having plenty of tournaments as well on their Discord, so a really good place to be if you're enjoying looking to play more people at Rise of Mordor. Definitely go join that Discord, and you can be a part of these battles, and maybe you'll find yourself in a video as well. So far, the escort merchants doing great. They're obviously struggling a little bit more against the Uruk Throng, but for the most part, they're doing, racking up some decent kills. Yeah, 278 kills on a unit of Dwarven cavalry is spectacular, and they're not going to complain there. Another charge coming in. Yeah, 200 kills on this one. Basically just eating it up. I mean, they're killing a lot of just crappy orc bowmen, but still, every kill does really count. able to get some decent kills into the back of it. Oh my god, this one unit of cavalry is up to 500. Again, a bit inflated because of all York rabble. But still impressive nonetheless, and you definitely can't complain. We also are seeing more and more of the dwarves just breaking round the Mordor left flank. The guards of the Teeth are definitely racking up more kills now that they're being more pushed upon. They're still able to, hold this line, and then you can see more Grimhammers coming around. I think the amount of kills on the dwarves is just going to be disgusting in this battle. They really did take on a lot of enemies. But that's what Mordor is all about. Mordor is about just like hundreds upon hundreds, thousands of soldiers. And when they finally get their trolls in, multiple levels of trolls, I think Mordor are going to be one of the best factions in the game, hands down, because they do have a lot of elite infantry. They have a lot of numerical, like medium to low tier infantry, which is really good. They just kind of need some better shock infantry. And maybe like another mid-tier cavalry unit, and I think Mordor will be amazing. And obviously their shock infantry is going to be, trolls. Imagine just throwing in an army, like 12 trolls on a flank to kind of just really just decimate the enemy ranks. It's going to be deadly. It really is, and they should hopefully be able to rack up a ton of kills. So yeah, I'm really excited to see when they can finally get trolls in, and hopefully they work well, because obviously Attila does have a lot of single entity combat. But obviously, elephant combat is a thing as well, so hopefully they can, I think that's how they're doing it as well, is they're making it kind of a bit more like trolls are acting like elephants, just with a separate skeleton and stuff, which is obviously amazing. Because you don't want trolls just moving in and getting like 10 kills because they can only target 10 people. You want them to perform like elephants. And you can get hundreds upon hundreds of kills if you use them right. And I think that is desperately what the forces of Mordor do need. They're a very solid faction. They can bog the enemy down, and then they need them like very expensive elite shock infantry units to be committed, whilst the crap units bog down the enemy. Does seem like as well, this Morgul Legion has managed to claim victory here, 156 kills, which is not bad. Again, do keep in mind that the forces they are fighting are very elite, so they're going to be getting a lot less kills than maybe, say, this unit, which is 300 from the dwarves, this one that's 300 from the dwarves. Obviously there was only 5,000 kills to be had, but it does seem like the elves have won a very decisive victory on that far right flank. It did take heavy casualties, and their bowmen are definitely lower in number now. But still, not looking perfect. And will 100%, be needed on this flank. Just kind of finish off what remains from the forces of Mordor. But with the cavalry roaming around, it does seem like this front line is going to be going in favor. And you can also just see the differences in quality as well. The Erebor Axemen with 200 kills, just fully engaging Uruk Throng. Like, this is their counterpart, basically. The standard staple infantry from Mordor going against the standard staple infantry from the Axe Warriors. And even with the huge number advantage, they are definitely struggling to do the damage. And that's what I said. You bring in some trolls in here, completely turns down the time. They help. You're wrong. That's what they're meant to do. They're meant to hold the battle line whilst the shock infantry does its work. And yeah, can't wait. Cannot wait for trolls. It's gonna be absolutely amazing. Hopefully we'll get them at some point next year. That'd be amazing if we could. And there you go. A big mass rout about to ensue. Forces of Mordor giving up on this battlefield. And yeah, it seems like it's going to be GG with only probably a few units still left remaining. But a really amazing update. Super cool stuff. Hopefully we continue to get these regular updates, which will be very exciting. Because yeah, this update had new faction in Ladris. We have new units for the dwarves, new units for the forces of Mordor, completely new UI assets. We have new music as well that you guys won't be hearing from my point of view, but if you download it yourself, you will. There are plenty of tournaments going on in Discord. The campaign map is having lots of work put on it. So a lot of really cool stuff being put into this mod. Definitely, if you haven't checked it out in a while, I highly recommend it. All the links will be down below in the description. And this is cool to take a look at the elves and the dwarves and their kills. So yeah, just a ton of kills, 300 kills on a lot of these units is disgusting. But I want to take like 700 kills on the escort merchant. Oh my god. 400 on the dwarven shock infantry. Oh yeah, as well, these are all completely new UI cards as well, I believe. Besides the escort merchant, I believe all the Erebor stuff, yeah, is completely new, which is great. And obviously the Force of Ladris as well. This is all new as well. And there's the Guards of the Teeth right there, over there as well. Cool. So hopefully you guys enjoyed this. If you did, make sure you drop a like and a comment down below. Subscribe for more Rise of Mordor, and I'll see you guys in the next one.